Okay. This is a Let's Play PlayStation 2 game. I know I was gonna I know in the channel description I was gonna do classic games. Not a lot of people would classify this as a classic game, but it's a classic game to me. I played it a lot when I was little, but it's not really a classic game. It's just an old game. The reason I couldn't do any PS1 games, which is because when I recorded it using a capture disc in Windows Movie Maker, the sound was terrible and it was all skipping and things. So this is Jack and Daxter. There were 3 of these, but this one is the only, like, I'm not really sure what kind of game it is. It's probably, people are gonna yell at me and say like it's RPG or whatever, but yeah, new game. Yeah.
I have spent my life searching for the answers
like
that my father and my father's fathers failed to find. Who were the precursors? Why did they create the vast monoliths that litter our planet? How did they harness eco, the life energy of the world? What was their purpose? And why did they vanish? I have asked the plants, but they do not remember. The plants have asked the rocks, but the rocks do not recall. Even the rocks do not recall. Every bone in my body tells me that the answers rest on the shoulders of a young boy. Oblivious to his destiny, uninterested in the search for truth, and rejecting of my guidance.
Oh, doesn't even.
And why would he want to listen to old Samus the Sage anyway? I'm only the master of Green Eco,
like super
one of the wisest men on the planet. So it seems the answer begins.
I like this game. Like the first time I played this game, I borrowed it from a friend, and I really didn't want to give it back.
As with many of fate's
so
mysteries, it begins with but a small act of disobedience.
Hey, Jack, old green stuff told us not to come here.
What's going on?
Continue your search for artifacts and eco. If the locals possess precursor items, you know what to do.
Deal harshly with anybody who strays from the village. We will attack it in due time.
Oh.
What are we doing here anyway, Jack? This place gives me the creeps. Huh? Oh, stupid precursor junk. Eek! What is that dark ooze? It sure don't look friendly. The sage yaps on about the precursors that built this place all the time. Where did they go? Why did they build this crud? Now, I like precursor orbs and power cells as much as the next guy. But if you ask me, they must have been real losers. Wow! How did you do that? I think we're in trouble!
It just like comes out of the sky.
Man, that stung! I told you we shouldn't have come here, and you listened! What? Okay. I'm fine. I'm fine.
What in green tarnation do you two want?
I was...
Don't tell me! Instead of heeding my wisdom, the two of you went mucking around in the only place that I told you not to go. Misty Island.
That's right.
You
And
don't
then...
even question his
Daxter,
ability to
you
fly.
finally took a much-needed bath, but in a bathtub filled with dark eco.
Look, old man, are you gonna keep yapping, or are you gonna help me out of this mess?
I'm gonna keep yapping, because in my professional opinion, the change is an improvement. And besides, I couldn't help you if I wanted to.
What?
There's only one person who has studied Dark Eco long enough to have a chance at returning you to your previous form. Carl Acheron, the Sage. But he lives far to the north. Far, far to the north. Nobody has spoken to him in ages. I would teleport you there, but I can't do that either. None of the 3 sages that maintain the other teleporter gates have seen fit to turn their ends on for quite a while. The only other way north is by foot through the Fire Canyon, but its volcanic soil is hot enough to melt precursor metal. You can't just walk through it.
But you could fly over it if you had a zoomer equipped with a heat shield. I just happen to be working on such a thing at this very moment. All I would need is 20 power cells to give it enough energy to withstand the canyon's heat. Isn't that right, Daddy?
Yes, Kira, that might work. But where are a boy and a half going to get 20 power cells?
From the villagers. Most of them have a power cell or 2 stashed away somewhere. And even if they aren't willing to just give them away, greasing their palms with a few precursor orbs should do the trick. And I bet there are even more of them out in the wilds just waiting for some brave adventurer to find.
Well, we've got the brave adventurer at least.
Brave adventurer! You two couldn't find your way out of the village without training. Before you do anything else, you better go through the warp gate and get some practice on Geyser Rock.
We won't find any more of that dark gooey eco stuff, will we? 'Cause I'd hate to fall in again and turn into you.
Get in there before I turn you both into ferns.
This device is a communicator. With it, my father and I can give you advice at any time during your quest.
Yeah, it follows you around. This is like a tutorial level. I played this game a lot when I was little, so I remember a lot of stuff.
These floating egg-shaped
I'll let
things
the
are
people talk
precursor
so you can
orbs.
understand what's
Collect
going on.
enough of them, and some of the villagers will give you a power cell in exchange.
I'm not really sure what makes them valuable. I guess they're like really cool. Every time you get to someone who has a parasol, you have to like 90. I think it was 90 orbs. He's like, if I'll give you a power cell.
This
If
is a power cell, the
you
most
give me 90
important precursor
yes, power
artifact you
cell.
can find. You need to collect 20 of these so I can power the heat shield for your A-Grab zoomer.
Power cells are the major collectible in the game. They let you like. Sometimes you have to collect enough to pass on to the next area. Every time you get one, he dances for fun. I agree with the Sage. I think he looks cooler as a. I guess he's a fairy. He's a boxes. Explain about the boxes.
Hey, you found one of my scout flies.
You do like
I sent
that.
7 of them to each area to look for power cells, but the lurkers must have captured them all.
Yeah. These are like they're 7 of these in every level. You gotta get them. You get a power cell. If you ever played Rayman, and these are like the cages in every level. You have to get all of them. So, I'll show you what happens. Whoa! We just got our second power cell, and it'll be the last one for the video.
Wow, that last scout
So,
fly had a power cell.
This is Let's
I'll
Play
bet
Jack
you
and
collect
Daxter.
all 7 in
And
each
until
area.
next time,
You can
see
find
ya.